Hey everybody, it's Dak here for Shoreless Skies Publishing, wishing you an absolutely fabulous Orktober. I know a lot of you guys are excited, waiting on the Broken Cask Society. I am too. I'm happy to report that layout is almost done, illustrations are done. So I'm hoping within the next week I'll have the final proof to approve. It'll be out to backers a week after that, and then a few weeks after that, it'll be out to the general public. So we're getting there. In the meantime, I've made a little something new. We're going to play test here tonight. So I am positively obsessed with Warhammer 40,000 and particularly the orcs. Oh, it's already not working for me. Particularly the orcs. I just think they are so fun and weird, and they've just got so much character. And yeah, I love them. And one thing I've always been obsessed with and interested in that's not very well documented in the existing Warhammer lore is the idea of the Brewboyz. So in Orcish society, there is varying castes of odd boys who have these particular jobs. And the Brewboyz get mentioned like once or twice in the older editions, but they were never really fleshed out. And so for a while now, I kept thinking, how do we do a game about space orcs brewing beer? That seems important. That seems like something I need to do. And so what I did, really in the last week, I knocked this out, is basically taking the Broken Cask and adapted it to fit the wonderful Warhammer 40,000 world and the zany world of the orcs. So let me show you what I got, and then we're going to play. We got the rule book. It's going to be released for free, obviously, because proprietary reasons. But the document's got a few pages of rules, and then it's got the main playmat. And then for play books, it's a little bit more condensed, a little bit more concise than Broken Cask. I'm really happy with the direction the design is going, because it looks like if things go as planned, you can just print 2 pieces of paper and you're ready to go. So let me stop yapping and actually get into it. The one class I want to test tonight that I think will be fun is the Warphead. These are sort of the magic-y wielders of this world, even though it's not called magic. And went ahead and gave a name Shazbot because I'm not very original. But here's the cool thing about the Warphead. Their magic, I'm going to keep using the word magic. I can hear you 40K nerds screaming in the chat. Is their warp power, their psychic abilities are pretty much uncontrollable. And so just like in Warhammer Tabletop, there's a random effect. Some of them are beneficial. You can get a bonus, a flip, advantage. Some of them are not so good, like you take a negative or you have to take a wound or whatever. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We also start by picking the clan. This is going to be, because they're all orcs, this is going to be similar to the heritage you might choose for your character in Broken Cask, insofar as they are a way of differentiating their personalities. And so I think I want to make this guy a snakebite. Snakebites in the Warhammer lore are just cool, like old timers. They don't really use a lot of tech. They're just old, weird, unfortunate gits, as they say. And so let's see. I'm using Albert. Really. That doesn't matter. Who cares? And what's cool about these guys is they get a pet squig, and the squig is basically going to give us advantage for free for one roll when we need it. Character creation is real quick and easy, real PBTA inspired. So I've only got a few more selections to make before we are ready to play. I'm going to scroll down a bit more so you guys can see. As far as appearances go, I think part of the reason Shazbot has a pet... Let's see if that works. That could be good. Wait, what does that do? No, whatever. He has a pet squig is because it's his hair squig. So it just like attaches itself to his head, because orcs are by nature very bald. He's got a proper gut and lots of black paint because he's an old school snake bite kind of guy with some squig hide accoutrement. And then with the stats, there's only 2. It's brutal and cunning, as is proper orky. And I'm trying to think of which one might be beneficial to me as the Warphead. When I roll on the warp table, there's no modifier, so it wouldn't really help me with my move. So, we're just going to be cunning. Warpheads do seem to be clever, so we're going to go with that. So you can only pick one. totally sold on the design here, the layout. I may change that up because I think it's kind of confusing. But only one is +1 and one is -1, which is quite different from Broken Cask. And that's it. The Shazbot is now complete. And our let me show you around the rest of the playbook here. This is my brew hut, where I'm not going to give it a name tonight in the interest of time. I can't think of a good orky name for a drinking establishment at the moment. But it's made up of different odd bits. We got brew vats, metal panels, dice tables, birdie bits for cooking, squig pens, fungus stores, and then oh, that's weird. That got cut off for some reason. Just like Broken Cask, we can spend money to improve them, which is going to give us a bonus. But unlike Broken Cask, they can all be damaged, and if they're all damaged, then the whole brew hut comes down and the session is over. We can reinforce it with some ramshackle goodies. We can also hire some serving grots, as opposed to a full staff load like we did in Broken Cask. And then down here, this is a pretty fun mechanic I've been quite happy with so far, is the idea of a special written in proper Orky fashion. And so what we have is we got 4 special drinks we can make, and then this table shows what ingredients we need to get to make them. And so it's a little bit more customizable. You're actually brewing since you're a brew boy. And we'll talk about how these come into play later. And then the last thing is the gubbins. These is basically the same as the equipment in Broken Cask, where you can go buy stuff at market and then save it for later. And you can cash it in for varying effects. And whoops, I did it again. I'm going to keep dragging that thing around because you can't lock it on Owlbear Rodeo. All right, let me show you around the events table. This is going to look very familiar to anyone who's played Broken Cask. And a little bit different as well. So first of all, there's only 6 options. We're on 1d6 instead of 2d6. And then it's a little bit more streamlined. It's going to go straight in order. It's literally going to direct you to the next thing. It's a lot lightweight, more or less lighter weight than Broken Cask. We had pages and pages of random tables. This is a lot trimmer. And so just like Broken Cask, we're going to roll to see what happens. And then as we accrue teeth, which is the currency, we'll be able to do more. And then just like Broken Cask, we'll either hit or miss when things happen. And that's going to have some added effects as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to roll 1d6 to see what happens next here at Shazbot's Brew Hut. And let's see, we've got a 2 and a 6. So Du Bois wants something special. Well, this is brilliant because I have not been to market, so I have no special ingredients. As you can see, I've checked none of my stores here, and so I simply don't have what it takes to make anything for these. And so Shazbot's going to scratch his head and shrug, and the boys are going to get very angry. And that's an automatic miss because I can't even test because I can't make the special drink. And so when we miss, we rolled a 3. The hut's getting all mucked up. Take -1 on my next test. All right, so I think the other orc boys get a little rowdy. They smash up a few of my bits and gubbins on the way out. And then we're ready for the next go. Let's see what happens next. Hopefully we'll have a little more luck this time. Better say a prayer to Gork and or Mork. Not a 6, not a 6. Okay, 4 and 4. So some git wants a barrel of liquor. Okay, so this is a cunning test. My cunning is +1. I'm going to go ahead and use my warp power real quick just to see what happens. So Shazbot feels a fit coming on. He feels the power of the wah, and he says, "Here we go," which means I get advantage, which is very exciting. Advantage works the same way it does in lots of games, including the Broken Cask, where we roll twice and keep the better result. I get +1 because this is my cunning stat, so we rolled a 3. Second roll is a 6, so that's a big old hit. And so we are able to muster together a big old barrel of fungus liquor to give to this git who's coming to our establishment. And they are very generous, and they give us a 4 teeth tip, and feeling a bit bigger, feeling a bit stronger. But I have no wounds to remove, which we'll get to later. But I did get some teeth, so let's go ahead and do that by adding a wee text box here. We got 4 teeth. Yeah, yellow's fine. I like yellow. Let's make it a bit smaller. There we go. All right, so that went pretty well. And, I should have taken, okay, I forgot to mark the -1. So I did take -1, but it wouldn't have made a difference because we had such a good roll. All right, let's keep this rig rolling. See what happens next at our brew hut. The boys are back. And this time they want another round of brew. So again, keeping this more streamlined than Broken Cask, the options for your stats are uniform. So if you roll a 1 or a 2, it's B for brutal. 3 and a 4 is K for cunning. 5 and 6 is player's choice. So we're going to get cunning. We're going to use the warp again, and then we're going to see what happens putting together this next round of brew. All right, so we're a bit frazzled. Advantage if I take a wound. I'm going to do that. I'm surprised I'm not taking a wound right now. So what I'm going to do is bubble in one of these wounds. Really? That's a bit weird. Oh, picked the wrong tool. Huh. I don't know what I did wrong there. Owlbear Rodeo is being extra fussy tonight. Let's try it again. Huh. That's weird. All right. Oh, there we go. Sure. That's obviously intelligible. So I'm going to take a wound to take advantage on this test. And we're going to test cunning as is right and proper. Let's get back over here to the table. I got it all zoomed in so you guys can see, but it's making it very laborious. All right, so let's get this round of brew going. We're going to mix it up. We hit a 4. We're going to take advantage. Okay, so we take the 4 plus 1 is 5, which is a hit. That's the other thing I forgot to add. There's not varying DCs, difficulty challenges, or TNs, target numbers, whatever you want to call them. Everything's a 4, which is stolen directly from my first game, The Dig. And again, it's just because this is going to be a free game, it's just kind of a quick, fun Orktober release. We wanted to keep things as simple as possible. And so, barring a few other effects, there is a static difficulty for every test you make, and that is a 4, which we have hit. So let's see what happens next. All right, perfect. So get 4 more teeth, and in the 40k lore, as so that's gonna be 8. This is a slow day here. Things will start to pick up once we get some more teeth. In the 40k lore, as orcs succeed in battle and other things like that, they literally get bigger, and so that's kind of what that means. I'm still weirded out by the fact that couldn't color over it, but that's okay. Maybe it's an issue with the layers. It's been a while since I used Owlbear Rodeo. All right, let's see. What do I want to do? I want to keep this rig rolling. It's been a slow day so far at the brew hut. Let's keep it going to see if something more interesting happens. All right, so we've rolled a 5 again. In comes. Let's see. We rolled a 1. In comes some Daka. We is under attack. So it seems like a nice calm day here at the brew hut, but then there's shots coming through. We don't know if it's enemy attackers. We don't know if it's the boys just having a go. I'm gonna go ahead and spend my pet squig to see to get advantage on this roll, because I don't want to mess with the warp right now. So Princess, the attack squig, is on the job and begins snarling and sniffling around to see what happens. And this was a B for brutal, so it's -1. And so let's see what happens. Ooh, a 6, that's good. -1 is 5. That's a hit. We can't really do any better than that, so we're going to stick with the 5. And so I think what happens is some Death Skulls were out in the main drag of our little camp here, just shooting each other up. And the shots came through the window of the brew hut, and Princess, the attack squig, leapt through the window, chomped the arm of the assailant off, and made us all safe for a little while. And I'm feeling pretty good about that. I get 4 more teeth. I think the patrons of the brew hut are appreciative, so they're going to throw some teeth my way to buy Princess something new and shiny, but we're not going to actually do that. So I would have 12, because that's another 4. I rolled 4 all 3 times. I'm going to subtract 10, so I'm just going to put 2. Why am I subtracting 10? Well, that's a great question. I'm subtracting 10 because we're going to go down to the bazaar. So the bazaar is just like the market in the Broken Cask. The bazaar is what they called the orc market in the Gorka Morka book, so I decided to go with that. And here I can just choose. I don't roll. I just choose what I want. I can get scrap to reinforce my workshop. I can hire a hard boy to protect me. I can visit a dock to get some fighting juice to cure any wounds I can hire some flyboys to distract people if things go wrong, which lets me flip my role. I can get another pet squig, either for cooking or for advantage. I can get me a serving grot from the runt herd. I can get some special ingredients, and I could go kind of pump myself up, get a little +1 forward bonus, either for cunning or brutality. I think what I'm gonna do. So the serving grot I think is really cool. It's kind of a passive way to generate income. So in the same way, if you were playing a video game and you log back in, and it's like you earned blah 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 while you were offline. It's kind of like that. You get to roll dice at the top of each session to get some extra money, which is pretty cool, but it's not going to be very interesting for you all as we just kind of test this out and give you guys a preview of what's to come. So we're going to roll on the specials table. We're going to go visit the grot fungus tenda and see what they've got for us today. So we're going to put the stupid thing back and we're going to roll 1d6. It gives us a 3. We got a gulbusta, which is a type of mushroom, actually. All right, so I'm going to mark that so I know if I have it for later. Unfortunately, so that's good. The gulbusta is used in 3 different specials, but unfortunately, each special takes 4 ingredients. We may have to tone that down, especially because this one is so rare, and I'll show you why here in just a second. All right, let's do a couple more rolls, and then we'll go ahead and pause. Just wanted to give you guys a wee taste tonight. Brewboyz is back. Man, the rolls are very interesting. Brewboyz want another round of brew. This is the second time we rolled this. I don't know how these things are going, but... Okay, so we're going to stick with cunning. We're going to use the warp, actually. So let's pop over to the warp. And here we go. We're taking advantage. And we're using our cunning, so we have +1. So we're going to roll once. Oh, that's a hit, so we don't need to do anything else. So we're able to whip up another batch of fungus brew. And we got 2 tea for our trouble. And I'm feeling quite clever. So I now have the Mega Cunning ability, which I can spend to take +1 when I test Cunning. It's kind of like +1 forward for when I use the Cunning trait. Or stat, as it were. And I get 2 bits. So let's add that on there. So we got a total of 4. Bing, bang, boom. All right, let's do one more roll for the road. Then we shall say goodnight. There's a lot more to this game, but it needs a bit of refinement first. Oh my god, what is up with you, Owlbear Rodeo? We're trying this again. Here we go. Grots and Snots. Those are little baby orcs. The Grots and Snots are complaining about the beer not having subtlety. So we got some real critics here. Let's see. I think I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm not even going to use cunning. I'm going to be brutal and go up and give him a smack, which may be risky. So I'm going to tap into the warp here to muster up my best smack in hand. Okay, so I can flip this test. I have to flip this test, I should say. Could be bad, could be good. The warp is unpredictable. So we're going to roll -1 because we're testing brutal. That gets us a 3, which is a miss. Okay, how do I flip on this thing? So if you've never played Broken Cask, the flip trait literally means you flip the die, which I should have thought that through. So it's to the opposite side. It's just kind of a fun little tactile mechanic. I don't know what the opposite of 4 is on this die. I guess if it's uniform, it would be like this other die I've got sitting right here. Which would be a 3? I don't know. We're going to call it 3. Who cares? And that's a miss, and that's not good. So we're going to roll again. We've rolled a 5 on the miss table, which says part of the brew hut is damaged. Oh no. All right, so when the brew hut gets damaged, we roll again. And then we tick the damage box for whichever odd bit of our brew hut took a hit. So let's do that now. to the metal panels got hit. Oh boy. So we're going to mark that. Bing, bang, boom. And so all that means now, it's still functional. So, whoops, I did the wrong one. It's still functional. So even if we did improve it to get the bonus, it would still work. It just took a bit of a hit. So what that means, man, this is being so fussy. It's funny because I picked Owlbear because it lets you write on the PDFs, but it decided to get all fussy tonight. As this damage thing fills up, if we fill all the damage boxes, the brew hut collapses and the session ends. So we don't lose any bonuses if we improve it and it gets damaged, but we are one step closer to a full-on collapse. So anyway, that's a quick and dirty look at Brewboyz. It's a game I'm working on right now as we wait for Broken Cask Society to finish. It is on, we're calling another open playtest right now. So if you want to check it out, head to shorelessskies.com. There's a link to the PDF. You can download it and check it out and let me know what you think. And there'll be a full release with a proper cover art and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, probably the next week or two. And hope you guys check it out. Hope you enjoy. Hope you had a great October and a great Halloween. And we'll see you around.